Did you ever get into a price war like that where you said, we're going to drop our bottles down to $3?
That's what we did. That's what I meant by we started an economical warfare. Yeah, we took a brick and we started doing buy one get one free. Your prices.
Wow. So okay, explain that. How many? Explain if you're taking a kilo and cooking that up. Are you selling them in dimes?
No,
what are the bottles?
We alternate it.
Mm-hmm.
If the only strong crew around like us was Purple Top, and we had a Cold War with them, and we had a neutral block between us, which is 106th Street. So they have from 105th Street down, and we have from 107th Street to 110th Street.
Mm-hmm.
So on 106th Street, they and neither did we let anybody work there. That was just empty block, right?
Wow.
And sometimes you could probably find somebody that was sneaker, but it's not even worth addressing because you got heat coming from both sides, you know?
Right.
So if Purple Top is selling, it goes by numbers, the vials. For example, 031, right? If they're selling 031 round bottles, we'll sell 027 illusion bottles. Illusion meaning, picture a shot glass at a bar. See the bottom of it?
Mm-hmm.
Which is designed so you get less liquor, but it looks like you got a lot. So we would use illusion vials that are smaller than theirs in reality, but look like they're more because of the illusion.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
And then we figured out if we use the caps that belong to the old 34 bottles, those come with a stem inside. It's not just the cap. So you would see a little, and then you just have to fill the vial to that little stem and it's full.
Mm-hmm.
So why use the ones that are without a stem? You have to keep putting more in. Then we figured out instead of just smashing the crack and filling a vial, if you cut it in perfect little miniature boxes smaller than a Tic Tac,
right,
you could stack them on each other and less goes in.
Wow. So you weren't even weighing these out.
No, never.
It's just whatever fills that bottle and you decide to charge whatever you think you can get for that.
Yes. So they would sell 031s for $5. We would sell 027s for $3.
Okay. So you're selling $3 and they get one free?
This is different. If I come outside today and they have 028, we're going to put 034. They selling them for $5. These are $4. Now tomorrow they switch that up and they selling nicks. We're going to sell trays.
Right.
In order to continually assault them.
Right.
Because they already have all their work prepared.
Yeah.
So they have to finish it.
Yeah.
But we switching every day and they can't keep up. And that's how we climbed over them.
You're literally operating like it's any other commodity. It's like the stock market, up and down Coke prices every day.
Depending on the day-to-day basis. So when we did the buy one, get one free, we never gave away anything for free. Everybody just felt like they were getting something for free.
Well, you're still profiting. So what do you off of a kilo?
No, I mean, they never got an extra bottle. They never got the
Why
extra
did you
vial.
say? Okay.
They got 2 vials.
Right.
But this one had the stem in it.
Right.
And the little piece that was taken out from there goes into that bottle.
It's still the same amount.
It's still the same amount.
Okay. So what do you profit off of a kilo of powder that you cooked up into rock?
That always was something that alternated.
Sure.
Know?
What are the variations?
Let's say we make out of 029, 30,000 vials, which is usually you're trying to make 25 or 30,000 vials out of a key, right? And I'm gonna sell them for $3. That's 90 grand.
Yeah. Wow.
Incredible. And a key goes in a week.
Incredible.
Because we used to leave hours for the other. So now we told everyone they cannot work around there. No. Now there was no Dominicans working. You cannot work between 6 at night and 6 in the morning at all, unless you're working for Yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So where we're gonna work? A lot of them asked. Well, you could work from 6 in the morning to 6 at night, but that meant all of them had to work during that time. So it made it harder for them.
And who's negotiating? You guys are teenagers and you're
but we have big guns.
You're operating like countries. You're operating like countries with truces. Hey, no, but this is a neutral block. It's insane. It's
insane now when I think of it. Then it was just normal.
Yeah.
Normal for us, you know? And they tried to get us out, but it didn't work. We were like, we not leaving this at all.
So did you have to drop bodies? In order to, when you say big guns, what do you mean?
We when we got arrested, we charged with 9 homicides and 14 attempted murders in 94.
And that was in the course of running those blocks
Yeah.
between 107th and 111th.
You know, occasionally somebody, the problems we had were all territorial.
Mm.
We didn't have none of the violence. What I'm trying to tell you is had to do with I'm fucking somebody's girl or somebody did something to me personally. It was all always business.
And that's literally the opposite of the violence. There's no violence over territory anymore in New York over the drug trade, because it's like it's all done on cell phones.
I don't know of any.
I think it's all done on cell phones. And,
yeah. People do services now.
Yeah, and delivery, right?
Yeah.
So how many people did you have working for you?
Oh, there was 48 employees. Yeah.
You and Tito.
Yeah.
Running it.
So 46 plus him and I.
How did you? And these are all Puerto Ricans?
We had 2 black dudes. Shout out to Damon. Shout out to Raheem. And everybody else was Puerto Rican or Dominican. And maybe 6 Riveras, 8 De La Cruz. Get it?
Yeah.
3 cousins, 4 brothers. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. No white guys?
No, I don't remember any.
I was joking.
Yeah, I know.
Did white people come through buy-in though?
What? Of course.
Yeah.
Had pilots stopping in yellow taxis to get online.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 95. I got a 95 on my report card because my Spanish teacher got on my line and I was like, yo, we have to talk.
Wow.
I traded crack to get that grade.
Wow.
Straight up.
That's wild. And then you're showing up to school and
I didn't have to go to his class no more.
But you kind of went to school still.
I went to school to chicks like 3rd period, 4th period, see who I could take to Capri Motel with me or take them to another hotel. But I was no longer interested in school. I didn't understand what is the point of school.
Yeah, you just made more in a week than the teacher makes all year.
And you know, before that time, my purpose of going to school wasn't to learn either. My purpose of going to school was to like, I'm gonna be warm for 8 hours in school, depending on where we living at. Sometimes we don't have heat. So I'm gonna be warm in school and I'm gonna eat this, that, and then I come home.
So what did you do for mommy when you came up and you know now Yellow Top Crew's running? Did you move your mom out of the SRO?
Oh, of course, yeah. We ended up living on 107th Street in Amsterdam, the Upper West Side, which is very trendy now. Yeah, and she kept that apartment for 30 years.
Wow.
When I got arrested, I sent her to Puerto Rico and I encouraged her to find a house. My mother would never accept money from me. I would have to sneak money into her coats, into her purse. If she's in her sister's house for the weekend like in Brooklyn, like throw away her dresser or the bed and get new. Otherwise, she won't accept it.
Right.
So with her, it was never a money thing. And she never knew really what I was doing. I told her I work in this store in the Bronx. I gave her a far address knowing she's never gonna go over there because she don't really. My mother would never. People in the building didn't know that was my mother. She wouldn't come outside.
Yeah,
it's always been that way. She's just very very shy.
So your crew of 46 people who you didn't discriminate, you let out. You were an equal opportunity employer.
That's right. I don't want nobody suing me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Me too, and you. How much did they get paid? How did the shifts work? I know it was 12 and 12 usually back then. Can you explain for the people like how crack crews operated, like the employees?
Yeah, there was a number of ways, and we tried them all. The way I liked the most was paying them off of bundles because they pay themselves, and you don't have a payroll. You know, and
what is that?
Their incentive is greater.
Sell more. Yeah.
So let's say when we were doing deuces, $2 bottles, right? That's when we killed everybody, right? $2 bottles, right? They would get 100-pack. And let's say they get $30 off 100-pack. Yeah. Now 100-pack goes in minutes. Wow. Because they're $2. So anybody that has money to buy from purple at 5 or from green at 10 is no longer gonna do that because they could get more over here. For $5, you buy 1 vial off of purple. With $5, you buy 2 vials off of yellow, and you have enough money to buy a lighter or a stem.
Yeah.
So you get more for your money. And it provided them with a hustle where So all the white guys that don't want to come to buy or are scared, don't want people to know, they don't want to get robbed, and they have that guy that they know that they could trust, they might give him $50 like, yo, go buy me 10 nicks. This guy's buying him 10 deuces.
Right.
And he's giving them to him, and that guy's gonna be happy because he don't know the price. Now this guy has $30 in his pocket.
Right. So they can do kind of like side transactions.
They do it all day. Yeah. When he smokes those 10, he's gonna call that guy again.
Right.
And that guy again is either gonna have bottles for himself or $30 in his pocket. He do that 10 times a day, he got $300 in his pocket. So they always used to tell us, we with y'all because you can make money with you, not just get high.
Right. Right. So you got 46 people working every day?
Yeah.
And they're selling, how much can
the shooters weren't working every day. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so you just had shooters. You just had people reserved just for that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many crack dealers, how many workers moving bundles every day?
You probably got four guys per shift, but you got a chop up crew that's in the apartment chopping up, you know, and packing.
And how much are they paid?
They're paid $30 per ounce, and they do 10 ounces each. So they get $300 a day, yeah.
Wow. Incredible money back then in the 80s for
I haven't seen that money yet again.
Yeah, right?
You know, back then it was a burden to have singles, like a real burden. You know, you go, I'm gonna do with all these singles. You know, you got $200,000 in singles. That shit stink. You got crack addicts carrying money in the crack of their ass so they don't get robbed.
Right.
And their shoes, they're wet, they're dirty, and all that money together starts to stink in your crib.
Right. And then do you have cribs just to hold the money?
Nah, I never had no cribs to hold money. We had money to take chicks to, like, you know, and we stashed money there.
Yeah.
What about it wasn't reserved like tradition, like you see a cartel do. You got a crib just to count money. No, I never had that.
Did you have so you had a crew to bag up, vial up. You had the pitchers.
Yes.
Do you also have the lookouts?
Lookouts, managers, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about them. Who were the managers and the lookouts? What were they paid? And what was their function?
So the manager's managing the spot. He could stand as far away as he wants from the spot because he's managing not only for trouble but for the police.
Yeah.
And they all had earpieces to talk through with the lookout so that they don't have to be going across the street. They could just tell them, yo, the cops are... He could just be standing around and he's just telling them the cops are on Manhattan Avenue right now. And he's not getting hot. He's not yelling, po-po. You know what I'm saying? He's just letting him know on the earpiece. Wow. And then the guy in the middle of the block, his job is to direct the line because there's always a cheese line. Right. And only 5 customers are allowed in at the time to the alley. So his job is to receive information from this guy in Columbus, from that guy on Manhattan Avenue, and by him feeling safe, he tells 5 guys to go in. And now 5 guys come out, 5 go. When that middle guy tells the line, Teddy, all of them disperse. And that's it's not really funny, but it was a weird thing to see because you just see all these people and they all look the same, you know, dirty, disperse. Some will come in between cars, some are crossing the street, some go down the block, some go back up the block, some go around the corner. And the cops will come and they don't know what to do, what's going on, what's happening. Yeah. They could never arrest. There's never been one, up until all of us got arrested, there's never been one YTC arrest because I climbed into an abandoned building and I put a hole in the wall in the bricks with a chisel. Yeah. And so the customers never knew who they were buying from. They could only stick their hand in, and the guy that's in the lobby of that abandoned building, he serves them. And he's in there watching TV, listening to music with stolen electricity. Yeah. One guy shot himself in there trying to shoot a rat. So
that you guys never got pinched on like just a jump out boy raid.
No, it's impossible.
You're too smart for that.
Because when he says Teddy and all them people disperse, the guy that's in the hole, that's what we used to call it, the guy that's working in the hole, he goes upstairs to whatever floor he wants to. Yeah. And gets ready in case something's gonna happen. And in there, you know, on this floor, we got guns. On another floor, we got a lot of drugs stashed, so we don't have to keep bringing it there, you know what I'm saying? And then there's an escape route there because the building that's adjacent to it. We made a deal with one of the tenants who's a customer that if this worker knocks on his window, his bathroom window, it's an alleyway. So the cops can't even see what's going on. This guy runs upstairs, he knocks on the window, he goes through, the guy gets $30 per entry every time.
So he likes when there's foot chases.
He likes he's looking forward to the window getting knocked on.
Yeah, Tuesday and Thursdays. That's what they said when they'd send him through.
Yeah. When we used to, we'll get to that part of the color code thing, but so when he goes up there and he goes through that window, he's in another building on the same block, on the same street, but in another building. So even if the spot were to get raided, and it never did in 5 years, there's nobody there.
Right.
And you don't know where he went. You don't even know if he's still there. It's an abandoned building. So some apartments have a bunch of debris in it. Some of them have construction in it. Old mattresses that you can never search it.
Yeah. People don't know now. Harlem was falling apart back then.
Yeah.
There was just
a lot of dilapidated buildings.
So many places to hide, so many places to run, so many places to stash,
so many places to live in as what's the word? What they call that?
Squatting?
Yeah, squatting. Some people took over abandoned buildings and just cleaned them out, sealed the windows, and that was their building.
Yeah. And now you're in business.
Yeah.
So it's literally 16-year-olds taking over New York City buildings and opening up shop. And now
drug markets.
Yeah. And now it's 30 grand a day or whatever it is.
Yeah. Where you come by, you might see a shooter in the window. He came to the block to hang out, to supervise, make sure there ain't no problems. Yeah. And he has his gun and he's on the third floor, apartment 3B, but there's no window. There's no window there. Right. Wind goes through and everything. Yeah. And you come down the block and you might have to tell him, yo, I can see you from half the block. You got to get out the window. It was an adventure and a wild time because you could literally have a shootout out of an abandoned building. You shooting out into the street.
So you have people dumping down onto the street.
It has happened, yeah.
Like snipers in a war.
Not one shot sniper. I'm talking about clang clang rapid fire.
Wow.
Because somebody showed up that we know is up to no good.
Trying to rob you.
Trying to stick us up or plot, you know. It was a coveted position for Tito and I to have. Well, who owns Yellow Top? Them two little kids.
Yeah, and so the colors of the tops were used as a way... Branding, exactly. You guys, it was all about marketing and branding. Some people press the glassine bags of heroin. They would put a stamp on it, like Boy George, Obsession, right? Yeah. But with the crack, it was Vials. So Yellow Top, that meant 107th through 111th, and that was good dope. Those are the $2 bottles.
Color coordinated,
Right. And so who were the closest competition?
Purple.
The purple top.
But this didn't exist. The color thing didn't exist until we got there. We the ones that said, this is how this is going to go. And we did that to try to emulate our mentor with his heroin operations. Because we couldn't find good heroin. That's why we didn't get into that. So in order to benefit from the branding, we said we could use colors. I think it was Tito that decided that. We could use colors. So then we went to the smoke shop and picked the color, and we picked yellow. And then we went around to the other people and told them, you can't sell yellow. This is what we're going to do. This is how this is going to be. Pick a color from this chart, and that's going to be your color. And they had to pick a chart. You pick pink, that's it. You're going to be pink from now on. Wow. Next guy. You know, silver, green. Nobody can sell yellow. So if you sell yellow, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Because you definitely trying to disrespect and, you know, and take money out of what we're doing.
Wow.
So nobody never did that.
You were able to wield such power. Like you just told other crews what it was and they listened to you.
Well,
why is that?
I don't know at the time if it was about power. I think it made sense to them, you know?
Right. It was just logical.
Yeah.
Like
because it's a benefit. It's beneficial.
Yeah.
People that are coming through for yellow are not gonna stop if you're saying black top, green top, silver top. They coming for yellow.
Wow.
And that's it.
Think about Wall Street white boy traders coming from the financial district, the place that runs the world, right? Guys making millions of dollars back then in the 80s, and they know what yellow tops are from black kids in Harlem.
And do
you know what I mean? How wild is that?
And they have. I've sat with some while they have smoked our product.
Yeah.
And I would wonder, how is this dude not dead? He is popping. This is in 92. He is popping. That's when I first learned about Percocets. He is popping Percocets. He's drinking whiskey and he's smoking crack in front of me.
Holy
crazy.
Wall Street, dude.
And then you know, suit and tie and shoes and cufflinks and all of that. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, drama.
Yeah, but those are good customers. Those are good
those
fiends.
those are the dudes that will come and they give you $500 bills and tell you, let me get what you got for me for that.
Yeah.
And
I don't want any problems. I just want to get out of here. So if you have you got workers, how many, so say a bundle's 100 bottles. How many bundles are you moving a day in these blocks? I know it's a hard question.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You got 2 shifts. Let's say 50 bundles this shift, 60 bundles that shift, but tomorrow is 100 bundles per shift. At a point where how we will calculate is by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you're selling $900 an hour. So we know they selling 300 vials an hour when we're doing trades.
Oh my God.
Or they'll beep and put 8. And that means they're going through 8. They made $800 an hour.
Yeah.
So we know we got 16 hours, $800 or $900, 16 hours today. But if it's between the 1st and the 7th and people got their checks or their SSI checks or their welfare checks, we know that that's going to increase.
Those were the busiest times?
Those are the busiest time because we are 3 blocks away from a major housing project.
Right.
So all that flow is coming over there.
Right.